Recently, someone asked me this question,
What have you witnessed that will haunt you forever?
and I decided to tell my story a little bit. Uh, to provide some context, this story is narrated from a female point of view. So, I am a woman and I'm 32 years old. I am a geologist, and this happened to me when I was 22 years old. Overall and in general, this is my story. I was a designated driver at my friend's 30th birthday party. I had just dropped off my last friend and I was heading home. A little blue car zipped by me, going maybe 10 miles over. Maybe a block ahead of me, I see the speeding car hit two 20-year-olds who were running across the street. They were running to McDonald's across from the nightclub that they were partying at, and they didn't wait for a red light. I'll never forget the girl's blonde hair in the bright headlines as she got hit. One thing that isn't ever correct in TV shows when people get hit by cars is how much damage it does to a human body. I distinctly remember his legs laying around 2 meters away from his body. Both died right away when paramedics got there. Did I ever talk to these 20-year-olds? Nope. I did not talk to them. There were many other cars around that stopped, and they were trying to help them. I stayed back, near my car. So, were the bodies, spread all over the asphalt? Oh, they were. All across the asphalt. It was like 3 lanes going north. He hit them in the far left, and his car ended up on the far right across the intersection. So, their bodies were kinda mainly in the center left, 2 lanes of the intersection. Traffic started to divert in the far right lane, turning down a side street because you literally had no idea if you were driving over a piece of them or not. And what do I mean when I say that TV shows do not portray this accurately? Well, usually in TV it's like a body gets hit by a car and rolls over the top of the car and then lands on the pavement, totally intact. But joints are never easy to tear apart, or so I saw. Lower bodies take the brunt of the impact, shattering hips or dislocating knees and ankles. And for how long it took for their souls to evacuate the body, so to speak, I would say it took time. It felt like forever watching them struggle to breathe, but in reality, it was probably only 5 to 8 minutes. A hospital is only a few streets over, and I'll never forget there was an older lady holding the guy's hand as he struggled to breathe. She just kept saying,
Hold on a little longer. They'll be here soon to help.
I wasn't close enough to hear what he was saying or whispering. But she also said something about his parents meeting him at the hospital. All just comforting lies to someone that was clearly about to die. By that point, his girlfriend had already died a few meters away.
This is beyond impressive as well as gut-wrenching.
Nah, yeah, it sucked. Once the ambulances got there, I felt like my car was in the way, so I left. I was living with my parents for the summer, and I went home. I texted them to see if they were awake, and they weren't. So I cried in bed until I fell asleep. My mom woke me up early in the next day to see why I texted so late to see if they were up. Immediately, I just started bawling. My parents had seen the accident on the morning news, so they knew right away what I had witnessed. I couldn't drive for about a year, and I still get a little anxious crossing the street as a pedestrian.
I'm pretty sure it must have been extremely disturbing as well as scaring. That one is with double R, of course. In what ways does it haunt you? Feel free to elaborate what kind of the things trigger you.
I just wish I could have stopped the guy from zooming his car around mine. Another aspect that I don't usually share with people is how the driver got taken away by an ambulance too, because he was in shock and so upset. I didn't stick around to give a witness statement. The kid was speeding, no doubt in mind, but he had a green light. The kids who died were at fault entirely. He did have a green light, but I learned a year later that the cops on the scene were suspended because they didn't do a breath test on the driver after he admitted to having drinks that night. I had rationalized away my guilt for not staying to give a statement because he had a green light, and knowing you killed two people is punishment enough. But now, come to think of it, what if I had said he was speeding? Maybe he would have gotten a DUI and more punishment. Just walking down the sidewalk on a busy street is enough to make me anxious. I'm also super aware when I'm crossing streets of all traffic. I'm also a way more cautious driver now too, and I'm always designated driver now. I don't really drink much at all. Also, I have an open offer to all family and friends that if they are drunk and need a ride, I'm always available, day or night.
I'm so sorry it's happening to you. I wish I could do anything to help you, in the emotional aspect, of course.
Oh, no, it's okay. Don't worry about me. I'm much better now. For about 3 years, I couldn't even talk about it without crying. But therapy is a magical thing.
Thank you for opening up to me and letting me do this.
You're most welcome. If the story keeps one person from speeding or makes one person more aware of pedestrians, that's all that matters.